to the pledge. It's great to see this place packed, for good reasons. First item is the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion? Tom, second. Jim. Any discussion or questions?
No.
Okay to vote. All in favor? 7-0 approved. All right, next up is the superintendent's report. Mr. Poole.
Good evening, Mr. President. Welcome, everybody. I'll just start off as well with a welcome to our student athletes and our exceptional senior scholars. That tonight it's nice to have everybody here for student recognitions. Start off with congratulations to the students at the high school in Ms. Mazzaro's photo class who were recently recognized for their work submitted to the Longhouse Reserve Photo Contest. In the photography category, first place went to Caitlin Coster, and second place to Jenny Mensch, and third place to Annabella Bargett, and honorable mentions to Hasnan Rana and Matthew Dinowitz. In the digital manipulation category, Gavin Melcher received first place. Congratulations to all these talented students. I also want to congratulate Celia Getz. You may recall Celia was here at our last board meeting. She's in second grade, and she presented her science fair winning project at Miller Avenue, which was a study of the moon's effects on feelings. Her project then went on to the Brookhaven National Lab contest, and Celia won the grade 2 category at the Brookhaven National Laboratory. So congratulations to Celia. And finally, congratulations to our spring teams that have made the playoffs. Baseball, softball, tennis, lacrosse, boys and girls track are competing this week. I believe there's a meet on Thursday. Looking forward to some Wildcat success in the spring playoffs. It's good to see the teams back on the field. And there is a presentation tonight which is on the planned use of the federal grant dollars we received as part of the state aid package this year to be used towards reopening schools and addressing learning loss, and that'll be later on this evening. And thank you. That concludes my report.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Poole. Okay, next up is student and staff recognitions. First up, Stephanie, is Matthew here? He is. Okay, great. The ex officio student board member, Matthew Spearin. Come up and take a photo. Okay, next up is valedictorian, salutatorian, exceptional academic seniors. Mr. Palazzi.
Thank you. On behalf of myself and Mr. Haloni in the back, thank you, Mr. Lewis from Board of Education, Mr. Poole, and District Office Administration for this opportunity to recognize our exceptional academic seniors for the class of 2021. These students have maintained a high school cumulative weighted GPA of 95 or better while taking Regents, Honors, and AP courses through the second marking period of their senior year. They've basically been on the principal's list since day one. These students, along with those being recognized as scholar athletes here tonight, should be applauded for their dedication to their academics, as well as all of their other extra and co-curricular activities. You make us all proud to be members of the Shoreham-Wading River community. Seniors, when I call your name, please walk up to the stage and remain on the stage until all the names have been called. This is in alphabetical order. Nicole Armbrecht, Owen Barron, valedictorian. Isabel Beiersdorfer, Kelly Cassidy, Anthony Darren, Kelsey Donnelly, Tyler Friedlander, Tyler Hawks, Avery Hillis, Jillian Hobbs, Arthur Bowden, Jamie Johannesson, Daniel Julian, salutatorian,
Right in the middle there.
William Keck, Brendan King, William King, Sarah Kruzinski, Brooke Langella, Cody Langenhan, Gianna Lapadota, Kelly Logan, Paul Lascalzo, Austin Mangan, Chelsea McCleary, Caroline McDowell, Kara McGuire, Mika Misawa, valedictorian, Tori Paranello, Yusra Rashidzada, Brooke Roth, Jalal Sawas, Rachel Sereno, Samantha Sicoli, Sophia Sturpey, Sophia Syed, Kyle Tepper, Kaylee Thompson, Eleonora Undress, Larissa Verdi, Christopher Vincenton, Troy White, Jake Wilson, Abigail Wing, Blythe Wing, and Claire Wing. I'll wait for everybody to get up to the stage. Slide down just a little bit more.
Yeah, no. Yeah, tell me. Push it.
Let me.
We're walking a tightrope. What do you want to do?
I don't know how they're gonna see us anyway. Oh, yeah, you won't. Yeah, no, I guess
You gotta pick the right person to stand behind you.
All good.
Want to stand on the chair?
Why, I'm standing?
All for a photo. Photo op.
I'm following
Stand up.
directions to be in the picture myself. I don't even know if she is, I can't see her. Don't worry, whatever.
Nope, stay close to the table. There's no time for that tonight. We all have no time for that. Thank you.
Not on the scholar list. Oh. Or it looks like he's trick-or-treating. Here.
What's that?
Trick-or-treat. Oh.
Seriously.
yeah.
Good. I'll be looking forward to next year taking photos without masks on. So, next up, winter and fall athletics, Mr. Pasamonte.
Thank you. Tonight, I would like to recognize the fall and winter athletes that received, as well as scholar athletes that received postseason awards. Before I begin, kind of as a follow-up to what we just did with all those great students up there, all of our fall and winter athletes were scholar athlete teams, which means that 70 or 75% of the team achieved a 90 or higher grade point average. So that in itself, to me, is why we're here. So congratulations. At this time, I'll go down the teams and the postseason awards. If I could have everybody, for the sake of time, as I do each team, I'll read the names. Students, if you're here, would you please stand? And then after each team, we can recognize those students with a round of applause. So for boys cross country, all league, Connor Blunny. All academic, Connor Blunny, Jake Elbert, Noah Parinello, and James Minetti. The SWR MVP was Connor Blunny. And the SWR Most Improved was Mike DeVita, and that was boys cross country. For girls cross country, all league, Olivia Pesso, Maddie McKiernan, Anna Minetti, and Kelly Logan. All county, Olivia Pesso. All academic, Tori Parinello and Kelly Logan. The Shoreham-Wading River MVP was Olivia Pesso, and the most improved was Maddie McKiernan. Congratulations. For girls independent swimming, we had her here back in March and recognized her. The county champion was Emily Herr in the 100 freestyle, and all county and all Long Island was Emily Herr in the 100 and 200 freestyle. Congratulations, Emily. We also combined with William Floyd for girls gymnastics, and we have several students competing. And all league was Megan Thrash, and all county was Caitlin Thrash. Congratulations. Boys volleyball, the offensive player of the year was Adam Gerlich. Coach's award went to Eric Epp. Defensive player of the year went to Willie Keck. The unsung hero, Troy White. Rookie of the year, Declan Drost. And the MVP, Blake Weir. Congratulations. Moving on to girls volleyball. All league, Kayla Teodoro, Paige Alessi. All conference, Lauren Holleran. And co-MVPs were Kayla Teodoro and Lauren Holleran. Congratulations. Moving on to boys soccer. All league, Franny Cortez, Michael Gazzone, Joseph Oschenfeld. All Conference were Connor Garcia, Mateo Sweet, and Danny Canellis. And All County, Connor Garcia and Mateo Sweet. All Academic, Will Duval. Most Improved, Franny Cortez. And the MVP was Connor Garcia. Congratulations. In girls tennis, All County were Catherine Erb and Eliza Vita Undris. All League, Natalie Acker, Joelle Ailechi, and Emily DeRoche. The Coaches Association Sportsmanship Award in girls tennis was Claire Wing. The MVP was Catherine Erb, and the most improved was Emily DeRoche. Congratulations. In field hockey, all league, we had Jenna Baudo and Gianna Ferraro. All conference was Destiny Kesher, and all county honorable mention was Brooke Melcher. Congratulations. And for football, all league, Johnny Schwartz, Jake Wilson, Dylan Blanco, Jeff Lackemeyer, Jake Eckert, Chris Vicentin, Sean Miller, Anthony Giordano, Dylan Kiley, Max Barone, James Provencher. All conference, Jake Wilson, Johnny Schwartz, Dylan Blanco, Jeff Lackenmeyer, Jake Eckert, and Chris Vicentin. All county, Jake Wilson, Johnny Schwartz, Dylan Blanco, Jeff Lackemeyer, and Chris Vicentin. All Long Island, first team was Jake Wilson, second team All Long Island, Johnny Schwartz, and Jake Eckert. The SWR Special Teams Award went to Sean Miller. The most valuable player went to Jake Wilson. And the team also, there we go, offensive MVP was Chris Vicentin. Defensive MVP was Jake Eckert. The Grunt Award, which is offensive lineman, goes to Jeff Lackenmeyer. Defensive Line Award goes to Dylan Blanco. And this was the 6th county championship in the last 7 years for football. Congratulations. And for girls soccer, to wrap up the fall, all league was Kaya Condon and Nicolette Joano. All conference, Grace Ann Leonard. All county, Ashley Borriello, Brooke Langella, Lydia Radonovich. All state was Ashley Borriello. League 7 player of the year was Ashley Borriello. Most improved was Morgan Lesowitz. The MVP was Ashley Borriello, and the team was League 7 champions. Congratulations. That does it for the fall. Mr. Poole, would you like to do the fall athletes a picture now or wait till after the winter? How would you like to do that?
Seems like a large group. I think it might be great to have the fall athletes come on.
Come on up.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So all the fall athletes that were here that we mentioned, come on up.
What's that again? I'm sorry. Oh, that's funny. Congratulations, Tori. Congratulations, Brooke. Congratulations. Congratulations. Tanya, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Coaches, you're welcome to join us.
Yeah, I need to go, please.
Congratulations, girls. Welcome. Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
There you go. There you go.
All guys, wait, so all guys in the back,
The whole meeting.
that me.
I'm not talking to you for the rest of the night. You're making me laugh. And I don't laugh. I don't smile either.
they want you to get a pin. There's a pin over there.
What's that?
Okay, he is happy. Disney's happy as never. This is the gymnastic duo. I don't know anyone else, but I can pick out the gymnastic duo.
For them.
It was full.
I already.
Okay, moving on to the winter season. Again, as I said at the beginning, for all fall and winter teams were scholar athlete teams. For the winter, starting out with girls track, all league or Madison Zellen, Eleonora Undris, Eleanor Panache, Olivia Pesso, Emily Cook, Tori Paranello, Naomi Harris, Megan Klotz, and Anna Minetti. Congratulations, girls track. Boys winter track, all league, Blake Weir, James Washburn, Tyler Hawks, and Alex Barrett. All county, Blake Weir and Alex Barrett. SWR most improved, Alex Barrett, Tyler Hawks. And the co-MVPs were Blake Weir and Alex Barrett. Congratulations. Moving on to boys basketball, all league, Thomas Bell, Tristan Costello, Joey Dwyer, and Adam Garlick. All county, Thomas Bell. All academic, Caden Mulroy. Conference 4 all tournament team, Thomas Bell. Co-MVPs for SWR were Thomas Bell and Joey Dwyer. And League 7 Coach of the Year was Kevin Culhane. Congratulations. Moving on to girls basketball, all league, Annie Sheehan, all county, Grace Ann Leonard, and the team was League 7 champions. Congratulations. Moving on to wrestling, all county, Tristan Petretti, Craig Jablonski, Sean Miller, Jake Eckert, Chris Colon, Will Miller, Connor Pierce, Jake Jablonski, Joe Stymel, Dylan Blanco, Anthony Giordano, Jack Lavelle, and Tommy Palumbo. Newsday All Long Island, Connor Pierce. The Shoreham MVP was Sean Miller. Shoreham Most Improved, Joe Stymel. Newsday Coach of the Year, Coach Condon. They were undefeated with a 9-0 record, League 7 champs. Team finished #1 ranked team in Suffolk County, and we were the Division 1 and Division 2 county dual meet champs, defeating Brentwood in an awesome match for the county championship. So great job, wrestlers. On to cheerleading, all county, Brooke Hackle and Caitlin Thrash. All academic, Grace McMillan. Coaches Award to Juliana Latato. SWR MVP to Caitlin Thrash, and Most Improved, Megan Thrash. Congratulations, cheerleaders. At this time, I'd ask all the winter athletes that we just read, please, to come on up to the stage for a picture like we did with the fall.
Or your legs getting tired from climbing those stairs? He's like, stop.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, on the way out. You're up. For what? They're handing out pins when they leave the stage.
bit smaller.
Mm-hmm. Winter, so, winter was first.
Time to go. All right. They have it on max and I've had it for the past hour. We're trying.
All right, yeah.
Before moving on to scholar athletes, I know there's some coaches here that coach these fine teams that I just read. If you're here, coaches, would you please stand? I see Coach Lutchen for girls tennis. I see Coach Carlin, Coach Condon back here. Any other coaches here? If you would please stand. Coach Colhane. Anybody else? Did I miss? Got everybody? Okay, thank you, coaches. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on to our scholar athletes. As I said before, we have the scholar athlete teams. Lists are quite extensive. I'll read down the list. If we could hold our applause to the end. I'll read the fall scholar athletes first. Athletes, when you hear your name, if you'd please stand. Then I'll read the winter athletes, and then we can take a photo together up on the stage. So starting again with fall scholar athletes. Haley Abrams, Natalie Acker, Jake Elbert, Paige Alessi, Owen Barron, Abigail Barron, Alex Colovi, Danny Canellis, Cody Karos, Matt Cerniglia, Nikki Christine, Aiden Clifford, Daniel Colon, Kaya Condon, Alexa Constant, Emily Cook, Emily Cordano, Sophia Costello, Caitlin Coster, Skylar Cox, Zach DePolito, Alex Dawson, Dylan DeGroot, Ashley DeLumen, Joseph DeRosa, Olivia DeRoche, Emily DeRoche, William Duvall, Michael DeVita, Matt Dinowitz, Declan Drost, Jake Eckert, Eric Epp, Charlotte Erb, Catherine Erb, Ryan Farron, Sarah Friedlander, Greg Friedman, Adam Gerlich, Lauren Holleran, Tyler Hawks, Emily Herr, Cody Hoey, Kelsey Hughes, Joelle Ilachi, Chloe Jager, Megan Klotz, Sarah Krasinski, Thomas Lane, Brooke Langella, Lindsay Langella, Morgan Lesowitz, Sabrina Lissica, Maya Meneses, Austin Mangan, Timmy Manzello, Laura Marino, John Martriano, Maddie McKiernan, Tim McQueenie, Crystal Meyer, Cecilia Maloney, Brooke Melcher, Ryan Meno, Brendan Meskill, Will Miller, James Minetti, Anna Minetti, Sophia Minion, Jessica Nastasi, Nina Nelson, Reese Nelson, John Oschenfeld, Noah Paranello, Tori Paranello, James Provencher, Kaylee Puckey, Lydia Radonovich, Johnny Schwartz, Tyler Schwartz, Reagan Shea, Annie Sheehan, Abigail Sisler, Sophia Sturpey, Olivia Stowell, David Tedesco, Kristen Totora, Robbie Troiano, Morgan Truesdell, Matt Verone, Chris Vicenton, Troy White, Jake Wilson, Abigail Wing, Claire Wing, and Madison Zellen. 95 students. Congratulations. Moving on to the winter season, again, Jake Albert, Thomas Bell, Abigail Barron, Kaylee Brady, Dylan Burnham Klassen, Matt Cerniglia, Aiden Clifford, Chris Colon, Alexa Constant, Emily Cook, Franny Cortez, Sophia Costello, Caitlin Coster, Carly Cutinella, Will Daggett, Jack DeAndrea, Alexander Dawson, Caitlin Dawson, Michael DeVita, Joey Dwyer, Jake Eckert, Ryan Farron, Jake Field, Jacob Formasano, Nick Freelander, Tyler Freelander, Greg Friedman, Adam Gerlich, Luke Gorman, Jacqueline Gossman, Matt Greco, Alec Gregoric, Brooke Hackle, Melanie Hagan, Naomi Harris, Tyler Hawks, Elizabeth Holden, Gianna Hughes, Craig Jablonski, Max Julian, Thomas Lane, Juliana Latato, Will Leonard, Haley Lukovich, Paula Scalzo, Jillian Luck, Bradley Maldonado, Austin Mangan, Laura Marino, Maddie McKiernan, Grace McMillan, Will Miller, James Minetti, Kaden Mulroy, Colleen Ortman, Killian O'Reilly, Wesley O'Reilly, Noah Paranello, Tori Paranello, Connor Pierce, Haley Petruzzi, Mia Rosati, Ken Schmidt, Rachel Serino, Reagan Shea, Annie Sheehan, Colin Smith, Colin Spire, Joe Stymel, Sophia Sturpey, Olivia Stowell, Megan Thrash, Jillian Trentowski, Taylor Trentowski, Eleanor Undress, Chris Vignola, Madison Zellen, and Gabriella Ziegler. 77 students. Congratulations. At this time, if we could have all the scholar athletes just read, come on up to the stage, please.
You have enough pins?
Have to
You do?
double.
You do.
What's that?
We have enough?
We're gonna have to double up.
Yeah, with 77, I think they're gonna need to.
Wait.
Past my bedtime.
Well, people in the back, you guys are gonna double up.
3 rows.
Yeah.
Go this way or that way? He goes that way and walks all the way around.
She'll give you a pin every time you do a budget presentation.
I'm good. You give me a thank you, that's all
You
I
guys can go in front. Just go in front. You're gonna double up.
Guys, double up. Just go like in front of each other, double up.
Tell them to move up a little bit.
Oh, God. Are we standing up?
We're doing this again?
look great.
Oh, you're gonna see these.
I think so too, unless we're getting on chairs, right? It's like,
Yeah. All right.
yeah, it is. You'd have to triple them up. You'd have to triple them up.
all night.
Yeah, we're done. You guys can walk out too. Take me with you.
Not gonna make it? Okay. Same order. Yes. I'll make sure you all get it. Write it down.
I'll give you mine. You need a lapel one? I'll take it off.
Nice. Nice to meet you. Just write your
Just
names down
outside.
and I'll make sure you.
What?
You're out of pins.
And there. So it's like a jelly
You're out of pins.
jar.
Great job, everybody.
You are. Putting names down?
Next day, tell me we need a replacement one.
I can't hear words you're saying, Deb. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. Couldn't have worked out better. Needed a mask 5 years ago.
All right.
My kids walked away with 4.
Well, we'll have to have a scholarship.
I graduate.
Like I counted 3 people in the audience with no masks.
Well, the only problem is then they'd be
I
like
tried.
pulling them together, and you gotta like track it. Is there a budget meeting I don't know about?
Exactly what Brian just said.
Is there a budget presentation?
I resemble that remark.
Ready? You're up next.
You want to sit in the front?
Who always says that? I wouldn't want to
So
go
we
home
know how
with
to
the
play a
family.
crowd?
Come on now, Alan. Well, maybe they don't want them to go home. They say stay.
Like,
You
what'd you
never
say?
know. What?
You said the meeting is not over?
I'll tell them. You know I would say right if he was sitting here. You know that.
All right.
There's no fun if you
Thank you, Mr. Passamonte. Very impressive. Okay, next up, the meeting is not over. Next up, we have Mr. Poole with the American Rescue Plan Funding ESSER presentation.
Good luck, Jerry. You got a full pack. I have a full house. Good luck. No, doors open.
All right, well, good evening. I'm actually really happy to share this plan this evening. It was really good news in the spring when we got the final budget runs in late April to learn that not only had our foundation aid for the school district increased by about $500,000, but that we'd also had gotten a sort of a one-time funding shot of over $2 million towards reopening schools, making up for time lost for students in schools, and recovering from the last year and a half of the pandemic and moving forward into the school district. So great news to get this funding. We received the guidance on how and what and when we can use the funding, I'll say about a month ago. And we have until the middle of the month, towards the end of the month, to submit our plans for those, for the use of those funds, our initial plans. These are federal grant dollars, and like all of our federal grants, we certainly have the ability to amend and adjust plans as we move through their use for them. So developing these plans was the work of the input of a district team, administrators, other stakeholders. The reopening committee had a chance to review the plans a week or so ago and provide some feedback on that. So I'm going to share some of the highlights of the intended use of the funds over the next 2 to 4 years. The funding, the ability to expense the funds does expire. We have to obligate the funds by a certain amount of time. They're not funds that we can hold on to for a long time, but a couple of years, as the intent, again, is to support reopening schools and also address any learning loss, whether it's academic or enrichment or social emotional support for students. The funding amounts. The American Rescue Plan funding, which is really the round 3 of the federal funds that happened in early spring. That is a total of $572,506. That has a spending deadline of September 2024. And the other federal package, which I'll refer to the federal stimulus package, the second federal stimulus package, which I believe is back to last December, has a total value of $1,939,253, and that has a spending deadline of September 2023 for a combined total of about $2.5 million. So the funding is a one-time funding stream, meaning that it isn't recurring dollars. So using these funds, a recommendation and advice was not to develop programming for something that was going to have a recurring cost beyond the period of the spending deadline. And if you did have something something you developed in that was going to have a recurring cost beyond 2023-24, in the grant application, you'd be required to identify where the funding would be coming for those. So as we work through finding ways to use this funding in our schools, we took a look at the guidance document to think about what are the ways that really would apply to us. So I won't read through all of those, but the examples for using those funds: educational technology, mental health services and supports, summer learning, supplemental learning experiences for enrichment and remediation, school facilities, repairs and improvements, and activities to support social distancing. There is a link in the bottom of the presentation for the 50-page FAQ document on the use of the funds. Some of the goals we had as we considered the use of the funds: how can we create with these funds, how can we do make a dynamic impact on learning over the next couple of years to really re-engage and boost students and school district? How can we also proactively support students with high needs? We are fortunate that we were able to open every day across the school year and really limit the amount of hybrid learning and distance learning, and the success of that has been that likely, relatively speaking, we don't have the number or the gaps that perhaps other places do have. But nonetheless, we want to proactively support students with high needs. And how can we use the one-time funding really for a longer-term impact that promotes outdoor learning and in-person learning for all, during the pandemic and beyond the pandemic? I think one of the silver linings was how wonderful and the impact of being outside more with students across the school year. And that led to the goals of providing enriching academic experiences, proactively providing targeted supports for those groups, special ed students, early primary students, economically disadvantaged, English language learners, enhance our mental health supports to support all students' SEL health, certainly an impact by the pandemic, provide some innovative and assistive technology to students, and to prepare and plan for the future by implementing those long-term outdoor learning environments that can be used for social distancing, experiential learning, enrichment, classroom instruction, presentations before, during, and after the pandemic. So, as I noted, one of the allowable costs was mental health support. So there are two initiatives for the grant. One is and a lot of these, it's important to note that we received the funding on April 20th, the guidance documents in May. So we have these goals, but a lot of the goals are the planning is in development, but two of the goals for mental health is the high school student support, a mentoring program for students, really to support their SEL, improve attendance, academic achievement, confidence, self-esteem. So that work is underway to develop a mentoring program for identified high school students that would benefit from that kind of very close support. And the second initiative under the mental health category would be a district-wide psychologist that would provide really behaviorist support for the development of functional behavior assessments and behavior intervention plans, and also provide additional social emotional learning support for all students in the school district. One of the proactively addressing behaviors will be really important as we move through the next couple of years, as it always is. A whole host of activities to address learning loss among students. One of them is an additional, for the next couple of years, it's important to note that all of these programs are associated with the federal grant funding, and we have them in place for the next couple of years to close the gaps and make up for missed opportunities. So one of those initiatives that we use through the grant to address learning loss would be that a K-5 math academic intervention teacher to join our current intervention teachers to support students in math for the next couple of years. Early elementary push-in reading support, additional before and after school extra help at the secondary levels, creation of an academic success center in the high school library loft, an engaging, innovative space for students to get additional supports during the school day, before and after school. Additional field trips. We know we lost a lot of those academic field experiences over the last year and a half, so funding to make up for some of those missed field trips opportunities. A special education life skills summer theater program that has fully taken shape. The board approved the foundation for that program a few meetings back. That should run this summer. Summer special education academic enrichment program. I know we are working to get that information out. We are really hoping to achieve the goal of having some of these programs, even though we just received the funding, to have those things happen this summer as soon as possible. So summer special education, academic enrichment program, E&L enrichment programs, additional assistive technology for special education, summer science research for grades 6 through 12, and a bicycle safety physical education program at Wading River. This one I'm really excited about, school facility repairs and improvements. It is an allowable cost You'll see for each one of our buildings, the creation of an outdoor learning environment. We did walk our properties with the district architects and administration to get a general idea of where those learning environments could be. A learning pavilion, with a concrete slab, those opportunities. Certainly, as this takes more shape, we'll work with the Space and Facilities Committee and present a little bit further on what these outdoor learning pavilions and environments would look like. But for all 4 buildings, Miller Avenue, Wading River, the middle school, it likely will go in back by the greenhouse where the barn is. So it would really renovate and reinvigorate the backyard of the middle school, take down the barn, which is beyond repair, and put a great learning pavilion out there for students. At the high school, likely off the cafeteria, this could be a spot for students to eat outside in the future at the high school, but also have outdoor learning, at the high school as well, a safe, great space for students. So these are exciting projects, and those hopefully will take some shape over the next couple of months, and we'll come back and present after we go through Space and Facilities Committee, come back and share what these final projects will look like. And another allowable cost category is technology. Certainly supporting instructional technology across the school district with these funds, whether it's iPads, laptops, or Chromebooks, and then putting in place some innovative technologies, whether it's augmented reality, virtual reality. I know there were some student requests recently for a high school gaming team and enhancing our digital music production. So bringing back some additional enrichment, enhancement to get some excitement, and then supporting the current instructional program now and into the future with additional technology funds. And $2.5 million goes pretty quick, doesn't it? I think it's I'll thank the district team, the reopening committee, for spending time to think about it and look at it. But really, truly, it does bring back and close some of the gaps in learning with the academic supports, provides enrichment, some dynamic opportunities for students in the immediate future when we come back, hopefully to a fully normal school year next year, and then something really sustainable, the outdoor learning environments for now and then well into the future. So great plan for the use of the funds, and as these things take more shape, we'll certainly come back and share how things are going, and share the impact of some of these projects on students in the school district. So I'm happy to take any questions.
Mr. Poole, I know that you've presented this, it's been presented to the reopening committee as well. Can you just share, so it looks like some of these programs would actually begin launching this summer. Is that right?
Yes, that is definitely the goal. We are working hard to have some of these things happen over the summer, and maybe well, go ahead. What's the question?
No, that's fine. No, I'm just confirming. So summer would be the first initiative, and then the fall.
Yes. So hopefully for the summer, I know we're finalizing some summer science research plans. We'd love to get that going this summer, more towards the middle of the summer. The summer special education academic enrichment program, which is really enrichment opportunities and academics for that plan, is taking shape, and hopefully get that information out very shortly to families on that as well. The Life Skills Summer Theater program is fully taken shape. That's out there. Students are aware and faculty are aware for that. So some of those summer programs that we're hoping to run for 2 years have great shape and will happen, and we're going to push to make the ones happen that identified over this summer and not wait.
So for that to happen, following Tom's question, is the review process is going to meet that schedule?
So the next step for this is after tonight's meeting, board approves the initial use of the funds. Remember, we can amend these plans as things move on and maybe things come in at a lower amount. But we have to post this to the webpage, and then correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Meinster, by June 15th, we have to submit the funding plans to New York State for approval. For the ARP funding, the $575,000, I was required to submit a set of assurances, and once you submitted that set of assurances, that was the first step towards capturing the funds. So the state said, submit the assurances, and you can plan to use those funds. So these initial summer programs are attached to the ARP funding of $575,000. So I'm not sure how long the review process from the state will be for that. Typically on the federal grants, it's not a lengthy process, and as long as you are, as long as it's packaged, it's a fair review, and it doesn't take too long for us to get the final approval to use the funds. So we're really capturing the funding. The funding's allocated. They just want to make sure that our planned use matches the intent.
Just as a follow-up again, real quickly, on the mentoring program, and I think about Academic Success Center. I know these are all brand new, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they develop and just learning a little bit more, whether it's through the curriculum committee or elsewise, how we communicate that to the community and some of the other support components of the learning wall. So,
yeah, I think getting that message out to exactly how these are going to support students and what they're going to look like would be really important. And we'll have to work diligently over this month and over the summer to get as much of those things into place so they can take shape and impact students right away.
Last thing I'll leave you with is, do you have any concerns? Some of the teaching positions show 2 years. Do you have any concerns about some of the positions we'll hire for, how to bring those on board, knowing that potential of these funds don't exist potentially beyond the 2 years, or is there anything that's out there that you're aware of?
Yeah, that's a good question, especially for programs that are related to staffing and student support services. You know, I think one of the things that drove the decision making for the math academic intervention teacher is that we do have a number of additional students that are a little bit behind in math. So hopefully a 2-year program with additional math support for those students will kind of close that gap, and we won't have the need for that second teacher. Hoping to close that gap for students. Certainly the elementary push-in reading support and the additional psychologists in the school district for behavioral interventions. I think some of the concerns that are not just here but in other communities and probably the country and the world is really what are the incoming 3- and 4-year-olds going to need in the school district after a month and a half of some level of social isolation, not the normal learning curve and experiences before you come to kindergarten. So having some additional elementary reading support and that psychological support in those early years to head those off, make sure they're okay, and hopefully again, that's a sort of a 2-year need. And after those 2 years, we all feel okay with pulling back to where we were before the pandemic. But certainly, it's not hard to imagine that some of the services and positions may be going so well that in 2 years we're like, how do we keep that going? So we'll have to have that consideration at that time. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Poole.
So you mentioned that we're not voting on this. We have to accept it.
No, it's not an approved resolution. Really the requirement is sharing it publicly before submitting it for feedback, and certainly don't want to share it publicly. Want to share it publicly and give the board a chance to give some feedback. I
think it's a great list.
Yeah, I do too.
Touches on a lot of pieces in the district. So I think it's going to affect and benefit every school, multiple age students. So looking forward to these items being implemented.
I'm sorry, Ms. Tepner, I didn't hear you.
The outdoor.
Thank you.
Oh, when will those be? When will those be completed? I'm trying to steal a Mr.
Or
Arcuri
even
line.
begin. I mean, I know
Well,
you
we are.
started, yeah.
I think Mr. Arcuri is already scheduling a space and facilities meetings for this month, and hopefully we'll have some early plans to share with them, so we can lock down the location that makes the most sense on the properties and really the general idea for those. If we can get those plans approved over the next couple of months, we could get those up to state ed. We could use an accelerated approval, and they are projects that in all likelihood the contractors can work on during the school year. They're outside. They're in the back of the property, so there may be some opportunities to, so my hope is that they're completed at some point this school year. That may not be achievable, but we're going to push to have that work ready to go and the work completed within a year. That would be great. So hopefully
Yeah.
this year, but no later than September of next year that those 4
September of
projects will be done.
22.
September of 22. I'm hoping for spring of 22, but probably no later than September 22.
Imagine that falls under the single review for the outdoor. When you stepped away, we discussed any, what's that? Structural, electrical.
But we hope to expedite it, so.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just, from a curriculum standpoint, I guess we're augmenting what we already have by the use of these pavilions. I mean, long-term, what were we thinking about? Did I lose? Oh,
What was
okay.
the question?
Yeah, so, how are we incorporating them into the curriculum, really? That's really the question.
I think the starting point is some of the ways that teachers have used outdoor learning spaces this year, whether it's taking their class out for the part of the reading period, or it is going outside for writing workshop or science experiments along the way. There will be electrical out there. We'll have to pay attention to some technology, access points that will be out there as well. But certainly, once we have our principals are incredibly excited about this work. Once we have that foundation, then it's very easy to think about, well, what are some of the learning stations and labs that can survive outside permanently? What are the wet labs that could go out there that could maybe take a spot over near the learning pavilion that students could go out there regularly? So the foundation is going to be an opportunity for students to go out, for regular classroom instruction and some special experiences. Heaven forbid that we're back where we were, but that would provide a space as well for an outdoor cafeteria. It would extend the ability for classes to go outside in other kinds of weather along the way. So a lot of excitement about that, and certainly think that there's an opportunity to think too as well into the future about additional sort of experiential, sort of dynamic learning experiences that take classes outside in new ways that we haven't before. So definitely, circle back to your question, definitely probably some curriculum work and some curriculum thinking about getting beyond the foundational experiences outside.
Okay, that's great, thank you.
I think the outdoor learning spaces really represent of the allowable costs that we have here, and to me, it reflects that our district has taken such a proactive approach of addressing our student needs in our already designed budget, that we were able to kind of think outside the box and imagine what would be, like you said in the presentation, long-term impact for all students in all buildings. So I think it's just such an exciting list here. We get to address the needs a little bit above and beyond, but then take the bulk of it here. So thank you for putting that together.
Yeah, it's some exciting. I'm excited about the work and the impact, and where we'll end up with all these things. So it's definitely been our pleasure. And again, thanks to the district team, reopening committee, for spending time on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Poole. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, next up, votes and resolutions. First item up is the approval of the April 15th, 2021 public session minutes. Can I get a motion? Jim, second. Tom. Any discussion or questions? Okay, to vote. All in favor? 7-0 approved. Approval of April 26th, 2021 executive session minutes. Can I get a motion? Tom, second. Katie, any discussion or questions? Okay, to vote. All in favor? 7-0 approved. Policies, second reading. First up, revised number 5520, extra classroom activity fund. Are we going to go through these each time again? Or do you want to just, okay. You guys want to hear the reasonings, or
We
can we
waive
just?
the reading? Yeah.
What's that?
You're waiving the reading, right?
Can't hear you.
You're not, you're gonna waive the reading, right? You're not,
Yeah, we did it last
Yeah.
time. Is that okay?
I'm
All right.
good with that, yeah.
So can I get a motion? Jim, second. Rob, any discussion or questions?
I just had one question on 5520. It seems to be a quarterly report that comes out for extracurricular accounts. I guess the next one's coming up is June. Are we expecting one in June, or is that too soon for this year?
Mercury?
You will,
We can't.
October.
Yeah, we can't hear you that well. Can you try that again?
October.
Sure. Hello? You will receive one in October when the external audit's finished. It will be up through June 2021.
All right, so it'll include through June 21 of this year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm just wondering, it talks about different advisors, faculty, personnel. Would the report also include who those persons are that are overseeing those individual extracurricular accounts? Or is it really just a financial account?
There are two different positions. We have always had the faculty advisor, that was the building principal acting in that capacity. For the start of the 2020-2021 school year, we had created the position based on the auditor's recommendations to create a faculty auditor's position, which was outlined inside the school financial handbook. So that position was added for 2020-2021 school year. It was filled, and we meet the criteria of what the OSC's requirement was, but we did not really add a position for the faculty counselor because that was always the building principal. We just put them in that capacity. The faculty auditor was new for 2020-2021 to be in compliance with this standard.
All right, so the report will be more of a financial report rather than a general who the faculty advisor is and who all the personnel involved with the extracurricular are?
Correct.
Okay.
There are two different components. There's the club activity component that the building principal manages, attendance in enrollment, planning, fundraising. That's that component to it. And then the faculty auditor, along with the district treasurer, reviews the financial activity from the beginning to the end. So the auditors actually look at both.
Okay, plus the outside auditors look at it anyway. I know we've discussed that in the audit committee, so.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0 approved. Board of Education Resolution number 2021-341. Can I get a motion? Katie, second Jim. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0 approved. Curriculum and Instruction Resolution number 2021-342. Can I get a motion? Megan, second Jim. Any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0 approved. Business and Operations Resolutions. There are 3. Okay, take them as a block. Numbers 2021-343 through 2021-345. Can I get a motion? Tom, second. Henry, any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0 approved. Personnel, can I get a motion? Jim, second. Henry, any discussion or questions? Okay to vote? All in favor? 7-0 approved. Any further communications? No? Any further discussion items?
I just wanted to thank Mr. Paranello for putting together that, the Sound Waters contract. I'm sure that was a lot of coordination and a lot of time and effort, and it sounds so exciting. I meant to say that earlier. Sorry about that. Thank you. Oh, nice.
Looking forward to the pictures.
Great job. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting and head into exec to discuss the medical, financial, credit, or employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation? Can I get a motion? Katie, second. Megan, all in favor? 7-0 approved. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.